Fiat are claiming that their new electric vehicle will be the most affordable electric car in Europe. Is this true? Is this possible? And what exactly does it do? Hello, my friends, and welcome to the Electric Viking. My name is Sam Evans. I'm coming to you here from Melbourne, Australia. Welcome to all you new subscribers. Welcome back to everyone else. Great to have you here on the channel that makes more electric car videos than anyone else. So now the Fiat Panda. Don't know about the Fiat Panda? Well, there is actually an ICE petrol gas version right now. It's kind of a very lovable car that the guys on Top Gear, they used to be on Top Gear, now the Grand Tour, used to talk about the Fiat Panda quite a lot. Joke about it, laugh about it. It has sort of a hardcore following. It's never really appealed to me, but the concept of an affordable electric car in Europe is something that appeals to literally tens of millions of people. So can this be pulled off? And will this be the cheapest electric car in Europe? Now, what is the most affordable EV you can buy right now? Well, it really depends on what country you're in. But if you're talking about Europe, then if rumors out of Fiat are to be believed, the answer to that question will soon be the new Fiat Panda 500e. It might not be called the 500e, but it will probably use similar internals to the current Fiat 500e electric Mini. Now, this vehicle will arrive apparently this spring, and the new Panda will be an EV-only offering from Stellantis' entry Italian brand, and it's expected to slide in below the all-electric 500e in terms of its price in the company's lineup. Its main objective, says the Electric, is, as the brand's president, Oliver Francois, told Auto Express UK, to awaken the sleeping giant he believes Fiat to be. That's exactly my point of view, he says, when discussing new models. We have not even started awakening the giant, whatever this giant is. I'm not following him here, but anyway, I'm sure he's excited about giants and other things like that. Now, anyway, as a product, the upcoming Fiat Panda is believed to be heavily based on Fiat's 2019 concept, the award-winning Fiat Centoventi, which I've got to say is pretty cool looking. At the time, the company said it would reduce the car's build cost by adopting a Spartan design with a limited color palette that was at once minimalist and fully customizable. So this means that modularity was built in from the start. Now, this is what the company president said. It will come in only one livery, which can be customized via the 4U program with a choice between 4 roof covers, 4 bumpers, 4 wheel wraps, and 4 paint wraps, reads a statement issued at the 2019 launch of the Centoventi in Geneva, where it won several design awards. Now, I don't know about you, but I'm not a fan of wrapping cars. I think it can come off too easily and it's not a long-term solution. But anyway, it's something I'm sure a lot of Cybertruck owners will do. Now, the interior accessories are interchangeable and can be installed in plug-and-play mode, from the cluster and storage pockets to the seats and the child seats directly by the customer. The exteriors are wrappable, the bumpers are customizable, and various roof covers are available to dress it up as the seasons change or according to your own preferences. Now, the level of customization goes beyond what you might expect from the most EVs in a connected age. Take, for example, this adjustable dock in the Fiat Panda Centoventi concept's dash to hold a phone or tablet. It removes the expected and expensive center screen and its associated need for infotainment software and firmware. Now, I like this idea. I mean, being able to not have this center screen to be able to reduce the cost makes sense. But the only thing is, the size of a smartphone screen is pretty small in comparison to the size now of screens we're seeing in budget electric cars in China. I mean, we're seeing budget electric cars in China that cost no more than $10,000 with screens that are, say, 15, 17 inches in size. So going from that size all the way down to a smartphone screen, which is about 5.5 inches approximately for most average smartphones, that's pretty small. I'm not sure how much you can see on a 5.5 inch smartphone screen. And really, how much cost does this reduce? I mean, if the Chinese companies can do it, they're even doing it for, say, $6,000 with bigger screens than that, then I'm not really sure that this actually will reduce the cost of the car all that much. Now, that said, though, this is a kind of Model T-like approach, and one that hopefully will enable a wider range of new car shoppers to get into a new electric car. At least that is if they want to buy from a European brand and they want to buy, in the short term. Now, if the concept is successful, we might see something like the culture that surrounded the original Type 1 Volkswagen Beetle come out with an appeal that defies the typical boundaries of income brackets. Now, this sort of blurring of lines seems to be exactly what Francois wants. There will be a future for Panda as a nameplate. That's why I pitched the latest 500 initially as a convertible high-end full of options and 30,000 euros. Because the day I introduce the future Panda, I'll probably do the opposite. I'll introduce the most naked version with an incredible price. Is this legit? Is this story real? Yeah, no. Yes and no, I should say. Well, the truth is that there is zero chance that Fiat can compete on price with China. Even if China is importing these cars from wherever they make them in China to Europe, it doesn't matter. It's just, we know this one very important fact. Stellantis said it costs them twice as much to make an EV as it does an ICE vehicle. That means at best, they might be able to sell one of these cars at 30,000 Australian dollars, so say around about 22,000 US dollars. Realistically, right now, there's hundreds of electric cars you can buy in China that cost less than 22,000 US dollars. Hundreds. And I mean, hundreds that cost half of that price. Literally, I mean, Leap Motor, W Motors, I mean, Hoson, Nita, BYD, SAIC, FAW. There's just electric car manufacturers there that are building cars for significantly less in terms of the manufacturing costs in comparison to what the retail cost of this car will be. Will it be the cheapest car in Europe? Potentially for a time. But that time, if it exists, will be pretty short-lived because it's only a matter of time before, as Herbert Diess said, quite rightly, that electric cars from China will flood the market in Europe. And it's going to be incredibly difficult for a company like Stellantis, who, like I said, claim the cost of building an EV is twice that of an ICE vehicle, just can't compete. Why can't they compete? Well, we already know the fact that Chinese manufacturers can build electric cars for the same price as ICE vehicles. And if Stellantis' price is double, or even if it's only 50% more, then simply they will be priced out of the market. And that's just the reality of the world that we live in, unfortunately. For Fiat, unfortunately for Stellantis, unfortunately for the European budget car makers, none of them will probably exist by 2030. And if they do, they will be Chinese owned. Premium manufacturers will definitely exist. People love to buy brands. People buy expensive watches. They buy expensive clothes. Do those things have any real fundamental value? Not really. It's more the image of those things, and that market will continue without any doubt. But in terms of the budget car market, Fiat, yeah, I can see Fiat being purchased by, I don't know, Geely, some Chinese car company, because really there is no fundamental brand value to Fiat. There isn't. They simply don't sell their cars at a premium price. They're considered budget cars. And so functionally, there is no real luxury value to the brand. But they're a known brand, a known quantity. So if a Chinese manufacturer wants to become a known quantity immediately overnight in Europe, then they could simply buy Fiat. So there is certainly value to the brand from that perspective. But realistically, the truth is that manufacturing in Europe will decline without a doubt as more and more Chinese automakers, Chinese EV automakers, enter that market. Now that said, I do actually like the idea of the dock in this car. It does reduce the complexity that a car of this price range doesn't actually need, and a lot of functions that people don't necessarily want from the UI. So that makes sense. Realistically, if that reduces the price by, say, $1,000, great, fantastic news. I mean, if you're someone who's in the market for a car that costs $10,000 and you can, go from $11,000 to $10,000 and that makes it affordable for you, that's fantastic. But honestly, I think that section of the market will probably be affected potentially even more by the electric scooter revolution, which is hitting Southeast Asia, India, Taiwan, China right now as we speak. They're going crazy. And I think people are just not aware of what's actually going on in that section of the market. And that will probably affect these people in the low income areas even more than what affordable electric cars will. Now, I'll put a link in the description below to the video I made about those vehicles changing the world in a way that people just are not aware of and are not predicting at all. But it is happening, but no one is talking about it because it's not something the West is really interested in. They're not interested in the fact that there's more battery swapping stations for electric scooters now in Taiwan than there are gas stations. And that, my friends, is a change of epic proportions. Thanks for watching the video, and I'll see you again on the next one. Bye-bye.